Welcome to this overview of working with Rule 96 incidents in RailInk's Damaged and Defective Car Tracking System known as DDCT. Rule 96 covers special damage that includes loss, damage, and defects on any car unless otherwise designated as handling or delivering line responsibility. The full list of applicable Rule 96 incidents is available in the field manual of the AAR interchange rules. In this video, we'll look at the Rule 96 incident workflow basics, including how to create a Rule 96 incident, manage disposition, and move cars for repair. This video is for handling carriers, car mark owners, and shops. This diagram shows the basic flow of the Rule 96 process. The handling carrier opens a Rule 96 incident, manages disposition with the car owner, and moves the car for repair to the designated location. Then the receiving shop reports the car on hand, repairs the car, and reports the repairs to DDCT to close the incident. Let's start using DDCT. Log into the Launchpad and navigate to DDCT. If you have questions about logging in, watch the DDCT Getting Started video that is part of this video training series. A pop-up box appears asking you to select the company you represent. As we saw in the diagram, whenever damage is discovered, an authorized handling carrier user must create an incident to begin tracking. From the DDCT menu bar, select Incidents, Create Incident. The New Car Incident page is displayed. The default incident date is the current date. Use the calendar icon or enter a date to change the date of the incident. Select Rule 96 from the Interchange Rule drop-down list. Select the incident type from the drop-down list. Once selected, the full description appears below the field. For more information about these incident types, see Rule 96 in the AAR field manual. As seen here with the location, SPLC, and equipment fields, many input fields in DDCT include sample text or tips as a quick reminder of the expected input format. Enter a location SPLC or use the magnifying glass to look one up. Enter one or more equipment IDs into the equipment field. For Rule 96, you can add up to 200 equipment IDs at one time. Select Continue. A yellow message is informational and may be a caution that requires some action before you can continue. In this case, an override of the DDCT possession check is needed if the equipment is in possession of the handling carrier on the incident date. DDCT verifies the accuracy of the entered information and displays equipment information. If more information is needed, you have the option to save a draft of the incident so that you can return to it later by selecting Save Draft. To add a defect to the equipment, select the wheel icon in the Action column. Select Add Edit Defects. A blue message provides information on how to use a feature. You can select a defect or enter a note. Scroll all the way down to View Defects A through Z and the Note field. Choose the appropriate defect by selecting the checkbox next to your selection. Then type in a description of the damage. For example, select the body defect code and type Twisted Frame. Select the Save button. The Incident Details page displays the added defect. You can repeat the previous step for additional pieces of equipment. Once complete, select Create Incident. Then select Yes to confirm. A green message indicates a successful submission. Notification of the incident is sent to the car mark owner. If the system can validate the equipment ID, SPLC, and incident date as being consistent with information in the event repository, the incident is created with a status of Open. Equipment on the incident is set to the status of New. Select Done to exit the page. Now that the incident has been created, as the handling carrier, you need to request disposition from the car mark owner. Select Defective Cars, Request Disposition from the menu bar. The Request Disposition page is displayed. Enter the contact name, phone, and email address. If the contact is registered in Findus.Rail, the fields are auto-populated. You can change the auto-populated contact for your company by using the search icon. All required fields are marked with a red asterisk. Select Add Equipment. Enter one or more equipment IDs. You can enter up to 200. For this example, we'll enter 1. Select Submit. Check the box beside the appropriate cars. Complete the following fields for each car. Enter the stick of the loaded equipment and the last contained stick if empty, or select the icon to search for a valid stick. Choose empty or loaded from the drop-down list. Select yes or no to indicate whether the car can travel on its own wheels. The disposition note and shop fields are optional. For the disposition note, choose whether the car has been sent to the shop or will be sent to the shop. Enter the shop mark or search for a valid shop mark. Once all required fields are entered, select the Request Disposition button and then select Yes to confirm. A green success message indicates a successful submission and in this case shows that your request has been sent to the car mark owner. Notifications are sent daily for each car that remains in disposition requested status. If you receive a red message, this indicates an error in your entry and you cannot proceed until the entered information is valid. Correct any errors and select Request Disposition again. Then select Yes to confirm. Select Done. When notified of the request for disposition for a defective car, a car mark owner can provide a response in DDCT. For Rule 96 incidents, the system allows the handling carrier to provide disposition after 2 business days have passed since the request for disposition was made. Holidays are not factored in and count as business days. Only the handling carrier who created the incident has access to provide disposition after 2 days. If the car mark owner provides disposition, the handling carrier will not be allowed to provide disposition. For example, when a disposition is requested on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday are the 2 days. If disposition is not provided, the handling carrier can provide it on Thursday. To provide disposition, select Defective Cars, Provide Disposition from the menu. A list of pending defective car incidents is displayed. Select the Equipment ID link to provide disposition for that car. Select the disposition option of Repair at Home, Contract Shop, or Handling Carrier to provide shop. When selecting Repair at Home Contract Shop, provide at least one shop choice. Enter the shop couplet, that's the ID and SPLC, or select the search icon to search for a valid shop couplet. Shop couplet data is derived from Findus.Rail contact information. Use the radio button to choose the final shop. Notes are optional. Select Continue and Yes to confirm. The confirmation is displayed with a message that notification of disposition provided will be sent to the handling carrier. Select Done. The final steps in the Rule 96 process are reporting cars on hand and repairs. These steps are covered in the Reporting Repairs demo that is part of the DDCT video training series available on the DDCT page at railink.com. Throughout each step of the DDCT process we've seen in this video, email notification messages are automatically sent to the involved parties. To receive these messages, users must be registered in Railink's Findus.Rail application. Short training videos on requesting access to Findus.Rail and adding contacts are available on the Findus.Rail page at railink.com. That wraps up this overview of using DDCT to work with Rule 96 incidents. For more details about DDCT, refer to the DDCT documentation and videos by selecting the documentation menu item. Contact us for more information.